Hi everyone, welcome to DOdaily Thursday Thoughts. It's Des here, checking in for the live question and answers episode. Really looking forward to getting stuck in today. Got plenty to say about what I've been up to, how I've been getting along. What we'll say before going any further. Apologies for not putting anything out yesterday. Those who watch regular know I really don't like to do that, but I've been feeling so ill this week, so poorly. Man flu's got hold of me, really struggling. And yesterday, whilst I had lots of things to do, preparing for lots of things today, it was just something that I needed to sort of do without. So back tonight with your questions. Looking forward to getting stuck into those. What I will say, if you're watching live, please do get involved in the comments. I really appreciate that. I'd love to interact. It's an opportunity to have your say on DOdaily, of course, throughout the week. I'll pass on my thoughts about how things are going and where we can look to improve our mental health when need be, and encourage activity and do all the things I like to do, try and find the positives and enthuse about them. But today is a chance to interact. So if you've got any comments to add, anything to add to any of the questions, please do feel free. Check out all the links scrolling across the screen now. The social media, they'll be at the end too. Of course, you can find them in the description. If you want to get in touch at any time, please do comment any of the videos throughout the week or through the social media. I'll pick up the questions. I'll look to read them out. And of course, when we do the throwback, it's great to get a response too. So it's just ways of interacting. Like I say, gives you the opportunity to support the channel. And of course, supporting the channel, give it a thumbs up. Like the episode if you're watching right now. That'd be absolutely amazing. I'd really appreciate your support. It just helps it grow within YouTube. I might get one or two other people looking in. And if you're brand new to the channel, of course, please subscribe. I'm actually taking a bit of a chance at the moment. I'm doing a live episode trying to look after a rebellious puppy. He's absolutely tearing the place up right now. It's an absolute mess. Kay's out and she'll wonder what the hell's gone on when she comes in. So Stanley's wandering around, wondering what the hell I'm doing on DOdaily, but I keep catching him out the corner of my eye with something he shouldn't have. So hopefully I can do my best. I can stay as focused as I can and put out some good info just for people to sort of take in, listen to, agree, disagree. Like I said, there's a chance to comment. There's a chance to let me know what you're thinking. Just looking very quickly at the questions. I've not had time to look at them. Kay's done them for me today. She's picked them out, so looking at them, nothing too serious today, just really light-hearted stuff. Thursdays can be like that, can't they? They can be really serious. There can be a big issue that needs talking about. Anyone who watched last week might know that I was talking about the World Cup and I was asked my thoughts on that and about how they've approached things in Qatar. And of course, that kind of thing is going to create a bit of controversy. So I didn't sit on the fence. I gave my opinion. At times we talk about mental health. It's not always a comfortable conversation. People ask me questions. I put out my thoughts throughout the week, but it's what drives me to do this. It was a point in my life where I needed to feel that little bit better. I needed to process my thoughts in such a way, and for all the things I do, running groups, being around people, friends at the football, lots of people around me these days. For all that, sometimes I just need to use this to let off a bit of steam as well. And it's a great way just to sort of do that. But like I say, try and help people at the same time, try and encourage, infuse, be positive, be happy, because we're allowed to be. If we don't try to be, we're never going to be. And for me today, despite the fact I've been feeling rubbish, feel a little bit perkier now. I mentioned earlier in the week on DOdaily that I was setting the guys that do running a challenge of running every day up until Christmas in December. It's something I've done 5 or 6 times in the last 5-6 years. There was one year I missed it through illness, but it's something I really try and do. Something that is it was a challenge that I was set by another group, or I was part of this group. An online challenge. This group in London where it really got me sort of interacting with people and talking and putting out social media. I know people around me still struggle a little bit with some of that. They're worried what such and such will think, or what they'll think, or they don't want to put that out. I think it's great because it's just a way of doing what I love, the running, then interacting, showing the rest of the group what I'm up to and trying to encourage them to take part as well. And whilst I've been poorly, and I am really, really feeling it today, my nose is sore, my throat's sore. You can probably tell by my voice. I've actually gone and dragged myself around 5K, around a very, very sort of straightforward route, the one I tend to do around the River Trent. Something that it's kind of my go-to when I need an easy sort of, not an easy one because no one's easy, but something where I don't need to think too much, get out there, get it done, and tick it off. And today I ticked off day one. I was never going to fail on the first day of my own challenge. It's a brilliant challenge, whether you do running or walking or cycling, get out and do 30 minutes activity. It's just brilliant. It just gets you thinking. And as you start doing things, it gets tough in the build up to Christmas, but it feels like you can do some of the things, you can enjoy some of the extra indulgences as well. And that's why I do it, just to sort of try and finish the year strong, try and enjoy what I'm doing again. And whilst I've been a little bit inconsistent recently, really got back into it until this latest mini setback. This last 3 or 4 days I've not been able to get out. I know I've been feeling it. It's been tough. I always say it's my go-to for my own personal mental health. Even before DOdaily, when I can run, all the sort of positive endorphins come out of me. The endorphins kick in, and I really start feeling good about what I'm doing. So pleased to have got a run in. It was tough. It was slow. It was sluggish. I was coughing, sputtering. Didn't think I was going to get round. But I did. And and to be honest, it wasn't about time today. I wanted to tick one off, almost set the example. I set the challenge. I can't be failing on day one. I know there's at least 7 or 8 guys involved. There might be 1 or 2 by the end of the day as well. So I had to set that sort of example, being the one who set it, being the one who does the running groups, being the one who talks about it on DOdaily. So I was out there and I feel fantastic for it now. Of course, it was hard and it will probably affect me a little bit, but I got out there and I know tomorrow somehow I can drag myself up and do 5K. During this particular challenge, you have tough days anyway, so why not start with one? Hopefully they get better from there. So I'm feeling really good, and the one, as well as feeling ill, one of the other reasons I didn't come on last night around the running clubs, taking the dog for a walk, etc., is because I started my new job today. It's been a big sort of bone of contention over the last couple of weeks on DOdaily. Things have upset me and got to me, and then I've rectified it by getting a new job offer, and it's almost come full circle. I feel like I've got a better opportunity now, and I started that job today, so that was all exciting. I was getting myself prepared last night. It's not always the easiest thing, as exciting as it can be, and it's a promotion, it's progression. So that's always nice. It's always nice to tick that one off. It's good for self-confidence and belief in what you can do, and sort of confidence from taking confidence from others believing you and believing in you as well. That's a nice feeling to have, and work's frustrating me. So starting that today, whilst there's a lot of information, and the person I was being trained by understood I was a little bit poorly, but I wasn't going to sort of not do it. It was a nice feeling. So I've done that. I've had a really, really busy day. That was good. I've had the run. That was good. Now I've got a delinquent puppy running around causing havoc, and in a way that's good as well. So feeling really good now. It's almost come full circle over the last couple of weeks. Got back into my running. Got this job sorted. When this little illness is over, I'll be absolutely flying into it. So always like to check in on a Thursday. It's important for me to do that. Just to let people know how I'm feeling as the week cracks on, using these different motivations, trying to pass on my thoughts. And like I say, just trying to inspire people to be positive about what they're doing. There's lots of reasons for me not to be positive right now. Like I say, feeling awful, couldn't run for a few days. All that rubbish that happened with another job, but it's all come to the fore now, and it's putting a smile back on my face. It almost feels like I'm ready to finish strong. I won't say too much more about that because there's a question surrounding that. But as ever, I'm going to start with the crux of what Thursday's all about with last week's throwback question. It's centered around food. What's your favourite winter food? I think I said that mine was chili and rice. We had it last Thursday. Really love a chili, when it's cold, make it a little extra spicy, a little warmer, to warm the insides up. Kay's not so keen. I'm throwing all sorts in, and she's like, "What are you doing?" You blow my head off. But I love a chili. I mentioned we love a stew in the slow cooker as well. Sometimes in the past we've been out for a walk at the weekend, chucked a stew in the slow cooker and then enjoyed that in the evening, and probably for the next couple of days. Stew gets better over a couple of days, doesn't it? All I'm trying to do here is encourage a bit of reaction, get people involved, just to see what they think. Someone might pick something up from it, think that's okay. I do that, I like that. Kay says, I love a hearty pasta dish with some crusty garlic bread. That's why we have so much of it then. On Monday, we had a pasta bakes, not something we have that often, to be honest, but really enjoyed it. So she must have talked herself into that one. Tim says, got to be sausage and mash. Always a favourite, isn't it? Bangers and mash, especially at this time of year. Gravy, peas, carrots. We always throw them in with them as well. So one of my favourites too. Leah says, anything accompanied with a large glass of red wine. Absolutely. That's what I was thinking with the chili last week. Love a glass of red wine anyway. And this time of year, it feels like we can turn to it a little bit. Not too much, of course, especially when we're training for things and trying to lose a bit of weight. But absolutely love a glass of red wine. And of course, mulled wine at Christmas is a real favourite too. And Sam says, you can't beat a cottage pie. Wow. Not too sure about that one because I'm not a massive cottage pie fan. But each to what they enjoyed, that's what I was asking for. We don't always agree on everything. So that's just a few responses there. That's all I'm trying to do. Like I say, get people involved. I'd love to get loads of responses to these. There'll be another throwback at the end. Looking forward to putting that out there, seeing what people have got to say. Of course, the first of the month, it is, December, going into chapter 12 of 2022, the last one. Always talk about finishing strong. Sometimes we wind down a little bit. Try not to do that too early. Of course, I've set myself this challenge. And the first question kind of centers around this. What would you like to achieve before the end of the year? This comes from Lisa. Of course, most of my goals are centered around activity because I talk about the way that keeps me mentally strong. Physically, I've not been fantastic this year. I've had injuries. I've had a couple of niggly illnesses. Another one right now. So some of the targets I've not achieved, and I hate not doing that. I really, really hate not achieving the targets I set. The reason I set them, and I set them on DOdaily, and I put them on my social media, is to make myself accountable. It's not to gloat. It's not to show off. Yes, I do normally do them, but it's not necessarily just targets for likes or whatever. It's to set that accountability to make sure I do it. If I say I'm going to do something, I'm stubborn enough to want to do it. So my targets before the end of the year, I've actually, despite it being a bit of a shocking year for my running, I normally do around over 1,000 miles a year. I've done about 440, I think. So it'd be nice doing this 25 days of 5K a day. It'd be nice to get over 500. It won't be, it's not the be all and end all, but it's a nice round number to have achieved, especially in not the best year. So that's one sort of mini challenge I've got. Of course, complete this challenge, this 25 day of 5Ks. I've already mentioned how tough it gets. You get to the middle of it and you're thinking, oh my God, I've got a Christmas party to go to tonight. I've got someone coming round. It's so cold. It's so wet. It's damp. I'm tired from the running itself. Sometimes you get man flu in the middle of it, like I've got at the start of it. But I'm hoping getting that at the start makes me feel good for that little bit longer going in. So looking to complete that as well. Get that 500 ticked off. Just continue to get my dailies out on time, every day. It's not, there's reasons why that hasn't happened every day. It still happens 99.5% of the time. It really does. There's lots I try and get done. And going back to sort of full-time work as well as trying to do the running clubs, that's going to make things particularly busy. So I've got to set about my routines, make sure I keep to my structures. Of course, keep getting up on a Friday morning, going for my walk. That's really important to me. A bit of time for some headspace, and I'll talk about that a bit more later when I sort of refer to it at the end. But all the things I need to do is just get back into those routines. Settle in with my job as well. Embrace the challenge. It's going to be tough. It's a big step up, but I'm looking forward to it. I know I can do it. I've got confidence in myself. So get settled into that, and then come back into the new year sort of fighting fit. In the new year, I'll be looking to really go with the weight loss. I'll be setting myself some quite stringent eating and food and drink targets. Because I think that's important for my marathon training. But that's for another day. Like I say, at the moment, my targets are to complete 500 miles in the running, and also to complete this challenge I've set myself. Like I say, I've done it many times, and it's just a way of getting consistent towards the end of the year. So when you get to January, it's not quite the shock it can be. I tend to use dates and New Year's. I don't necessarily believe we have to wait. Like I'm not now. It's December. It is the 1st of December, so I'm using the date to some extent. But you know what I mean? You don't have to wait till New Year. But I don't like those people who disregard it either, because we find inspiration from where we find it, and it's important to use it wherever it sort of throws itself at us. So I think it's important just to keep working at things. Don't wait for things to happen. If you can make little changes to support another change later on, that's important too. So got my targets I work to each month, 5 targets. I've got those set through the daily coaching sessions I do. Part of the running I did this evening, actually. Again, that accountability made me get out and do it. Without that, I might have just sort of cried off with illness, but went out there and did it. And I guess the final one is just to settle into the new job, but make sure I embrace it. Not get too worried. And there's, like I said, there's lots of info today, but every job's like that. That's not me stressing, but as long as I've got this kind of attitude where I'm confident enough to believe I can do it, but also sort of set about it in the right way, speak to people and do what I need to do, I'm really looking forward to that as well. So they're my mini targets before the end of the year. I've got my targets for the daily sessions where they're monthly targets, and then I touched on how I'll be looking to start the year, but I'm sure we'll have much more of that over the next couple of weeks. If you've got any comments on that, please do sort of let me know what you think. What's your targets before the end of the year? If you're watching live, drop it in the comments. If you're watching after, drop it in the video comments. I'll still pick those up and look to sort of put your name to them. If you want to ask me anything, please drop a comment as well. Moving on to question 2. I thought this would creep up again. Of course, I always talk about how much I love football, but try not to talk too much about football, because DOdaily is not a football YouTube channel. It's about encouraging people to do what they enjoy. This is just one of the aspects of what I do. But it's big at the moment, isn't it? Football's big for me. I've been to the England games. I'm a bit up and down with the performances and wondering whether they can do it. 1 minute I think they'll win it, 1 minute I think they've got no chance, but that's just the life of a football fan sometimes. So enjoying it. I am enjoying it after everything we said last week on DOdaily. Really sort of getting into the crux of what was going on in Qatar and things like that. I'm actually enjoying the tournament. There's some real good games now. We're getting to the last group games. It creates all that excitement of who's going to go through, and then the knockout stages sort of take it to another level as well, don't they? When teams score, they have to really go for it. What's been your favourite non-England match of the World Cup so far? This is from Lee. I watched a really good game the other day between who was it between? Was it Senegal and It was good, believe me, even though I can't remember the opponents. I can't remember who it was. Tell you one I was really disappointed with while I'm trying to sort of think of who that was. Australia versus Denmark. I tipped Denmark as an outsider, as a team that could potentially do well in this tournament. They've got some really good results. They beat England at Wembley not too long ago. I watched Denmark Australia yesterday, and it was rubbish. And Denmark was the worst team I've seen in the tournament. They're out now. Based on that performance, I'm not surprised. But yeah, I've seen some good ones. I enjoyed the game. Poland versus Saudi Arabia. Sounds a bit random, but Poland won. But Saudi Arabia absolutely battered them, and they've done well in this tournament, haven't they? They beat Argentina. They gave. It's hard to think. There's that many games coming at the moment. They gave Mexico a good game last night. So, there's just some really, really good games of football. Germany, Spain, there was so much riding on it. It was a little bit tense. Enjoyed that. I think there's been some good games. I really do. I've really, really enjoyed it so far. So, looking forward to the next England game, of course. Knockout against Senegal, who were exciting the other day. South Korea, that's who they played. I knew it had come to me at some point. Really enjoyed that game, and like I say, because there was so much riding on it, and that's what happens at this stage of the tournament, isn't it? So it's important for us to make the most of it. And like I say, looking forward to that game. Dawn has commented here, the Senegal fans are just amazing. Absolutely. Hopefully with the England fans on Sunday as well. That'll create a really good atmosphere in the stadium, and it'll add to the thing as a spectacle. So really enjoying it. Some good games, really taking it in. The times have been suitable. The new job don't really allow me to watch them in the afternoon though, but sometimes things are a bit more important and can always catch up on the highlights later. So really appreciate those comments. Just looking at some of the comments coming in. Going back to those targets, we spoke about in question 1. Dawn's target is to run 800 miles by the end of the year. Brilliant. I know Dawn personally, and I know that's a lot of miles, and she probably would never have imagined that one day. And now it's doable. Ian says, I've run every day in November, so I'm carrying on and running every day in December. That's my target by the end of the year. Brilliant again. And of course, it works for the challenge I've been talking about throughout the episode. So looking forward to seeing how that gets on, Ian, and watching your progress. I'm actually meeting Ian in the morning to run, to get in day 2. We've arranged to meet again, more accountability to get out there and do what we want to do and get the most from it. So that'll be nice. It probably won't be nice at the time of morning we've agreed to meet, 6:15. It's absolutely freezing now, and we've not many hours in between. I'm sure it's not going to be. It's probably going to be even colder. But yeah, we'll get out. We'll get that done. So thanks for the question, Lee. Appreciate that. Plenty, I guess, to come on the World Cup, especially if England keep progressing. The excitement's going to build. I'm sure we're all going to enjoy it. Just a reminder, if you are watching, it'd be great if you could drop a comment, drop a like on this episode. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. All I'm doing here is talking about completely random things, things people have asked me, stuff that's on people's minds. There's no right or wrong and no right or wrong questions. There's no right or wrong answers. It's just the way I see it, the way I think about it. Just trying to keep it real. Sometimes we don't have enough just small talk. We can be too serious. I did say, and of course, DOdaily is sort of semi-serious at times, but that's all kind of my experiences and the way I deal with things. So yeah, keep the comments coming. Really, really appreciate those. Moving on to the third and final question this evening. I'm sure Dawn will like this one. Dawn's a massive fan of Christmas. When will your Christmas decks be going up? This has come from Sarah. Well, rather cheekily, I'm going to a football match tomorrow. I'm going to watch something locally. And I said to Kay, why don't you put the Christmas decorations up? obviously not trying to get out of it whatsoever. She'll probably kill me when she sees this. She's actually at the Panto tonight, by the way. She's a brown owl and she's taking the brownies to the Panto. So she's doing her duties, enjoying that, leaving me with the terror. But I'm sure she'll start feeling Christmassy. And it perhaps over the weekend, if we get an opportunity, it would be nice to get them up. I don't like to put them up too early in all reality. I think the start of December is right. Both myself and Kay get a little bit fed up after Christmas and drag them down. I love Christmas. I love everything about it. I love the things we do. Myself and Kay have already planned some things in, nice things to do together. You know, we spend a lot of the year sort of focusing on other people, whether it's through the running clubs or brownies. You know, we do a lot, and of course we raise a lot of money, and I try and sort of encourage and support people through what I do here. You know, so Christmas is a time where we like to set a few things aside for ourselves. So we've done that to some degree. I'm sure there'll be more of that to come. But like I say, I try not to overdo it as well. Keep it special, keep it real. You know, keep it within the time frame it's supposed to be. If it was an all year thing, it wouldn't be very exciting, would it? So I think it's important just to be that slightly. Whilst don't strictly stick to the traditions. You know, I think getting it up at the start of December is a nice thing to do. So yeah, really, really looking forward to getting stuck into Christmas now as well, especially with this challenge. This challenge always feels Christmassy, so definitely looking forward to that. I thought I'd get a comment, but I'm shocked by it. Mine aren't up yet. I'm slacking. Dawn's Christmas decorations aren't up. It's probably because you're out running 800 miles in a year, every night of the week, doing something a bit different or early in the morning. But get it up this weekend, Sunday. You know what I mean? And that's the questions, guys. Like I said, there was nothing too much in there, was there? If you've got anything to ask me, you know, please email des@DOrunning. Like I say, it could be questions like that. The football, Christmas decoration, challenges. You know, the challenge one was the most serious one there. If there's anything you want to ask me about what's going off, anything more serious, anything you want to tell me about the way you're feeling and want some support and advice. Do you know, I'm not trained, I'm no expert, but I have spent a lot of time sort of championing. Try saying that when you need a drink after talking for 20 minutes. Championing mental health and sort of talking to people about it and supporting it wherever I can. So I have picked up some experience and knowledge, and people do email me, and it's one of the best things that I do, you know. And when I receive that, I always say, through the adversity, we don't want anybody feeling rubbish, but when people feel that they can talk to me and ask me questions and we create conversation, because that's what mental health, improving mental health is all about, isn't it? It's communication, it's talking to each other, understanding how we feel, because there's so much lost in the lack of communication. You know, so many relationships break down for it, and I think it's the key to everything. So if you want to get in touch, des@DOrunning. If you want to ask me a question, if you want me to talk about it openly on here, use my experiences, you know, the email address is there. I don't have to put your name to it. If you want to ask me something lighthearted tonight, get in touch. Like I say, either through that email or any of the videos throughout the week, any of the social media scrolling across the bottom. I'd love to hear from you. It really is a great way of supporting myself and the channel. And of course, just providing something a little bit different, you know, something different to listen to. It's not everybody's cup of tea. It's a small YouTube channel. It is what it is. But I absolutely love doing it. It gives me a chance to sort of offload my thoughts. Like I say, in a week that could have been really, really difficult. I'm feeling okay. Do you know? And I am going to get a little bit serious now. That one of the big things that really sort of affects me at this time of year is the passing of a couple of my really, really close relationships. My grandma, the anniversary was on Tuesday, and my dad's is at the weekend. You know, and those are two people that shape the way I am, you know, and I miss them dearly, and it can be tough. But with things happening, you know, trying to make things happen, of course, being ill could sort of and thinking about those things could really send me down a path that I really don't want to be going into Christmas, and it has done before. So now I'm clinging off those positives and all the nice things that have happened over the year or happening at the moment. The determination to get stuck into things and be happy with what I'm doing, and sort of putting out DOdaily, doing running clubs, things like that make me feel good. Paying it forward, that's all I'm trying to do. But it makes me feel fantastic for it, and like I say, it could be really, really easy to get sort of bogged down, and I just love being just love getting it out there sometimes, because as soon as it's said, it's said. There's no real going back. Nobody can pick you up on it. No one can question. I touched on earlier about the social media and how people get a little bit nervous and, I can't do that because they'll think that. So what? I kind of live my life a little bit like an open book, and I've got no problems with that whatsoever. People ever go at me all the time, but once you learn to brush that off a little bit more, it's not always easy to do. It's just easy to sort of keep talking, keep communicating. And if anybody is going to react to you in a bad way for it, then they don't deserve your time or attention anyway, do they? So I think it's important to remember all that, keep the communication flowing, whichever way you want to do it, whether it's on Twitter, private messages, emails, comments on the videos. I'd love to keep hearing from you. That's what Thursday Thoughts are all about. Nice comment here from Dawn. Love the Thursday night interactive sessions on DOdaily. Again, it's just a chance to sort of get involved and have something read out. It really doesn't matter sort of who's watching, when they're watching. It's just a nice thing to do, and I'm feeling a lot more positive that I've had the opportunity to tell people I'm feeling positive. Tonight I'm on my own. I could have come back, got a shower, not done much, been a bit fed up with the dog because now I've got to spend the next half an hour cleaning. But I'm not. I'm feeling good about what I'm doing. I'm happy. I'm content. Looking forward to the weekend. Got some nice plans. Football match tomorrow, like I say. We've got a park run. Myself and Kay are going up to Clumber Park. I'm looking to vlog that. It might not be a fast one this weekend, but I'm looking to vlog it. It's Kay's brother's first park run, so somebody else doing it for the first time. Something I talk about a lot. Check out that Project Park Run PB playlist list. If you want to see what all those are about and how you could get involved in Park Run, it's an amazing thing. You can walk, run, jog, whichever way you want to approach it. It's free activity on a Saturday morning. Looking forward to that. And then some nice things to do on Sunday as well, rounded off by the England match before setting about my first my first full week in my new job, which is going to blow my mind a little bit. But as I said right at the start, I'm going to take it all on board, enjoy what's happening at the moment, be positive about it, and hopefully keep smiling into Christmas. And that's what it's all about, isn't it? This time of year is time to be happy and joyous, and I'm not bothered if people think that's wishy-washy. That's exactly what I'm going to do. It's been a fantastic year for me so far. So I'm looking to round it off strong, work at those challenges, enjoy the football, maybe even get those Christmas decorations up. That's what the question's centered around. Once again, one final shout out. If you've got any comments to make, please add them. Please give this episode a thumbs up. Please subscribe if you're new. The next episode of DOdaily will be available from tomorrow. Definitely from 7. It might be a bit earlier. I'll be out bright and early. Touched on early in the episode why I enjoy getting out and why I want it to be part of my routine, especially now I'm a bit busier. Some people might think, he's going to drop that off. He's not going to do that. No, being busy is important to me. It gives me all the focus and attention I need sometimes to get done what I get done. I'll be talking about all those reasons, looking back at the week, looking back at how it could have been, what it has been, what it will be, what the weekend will be, hopefully in a positive frame of mind after that really early run. So plenty of activity in the morning, but I won't do too much. I'll take it easy and hopefully recover fighting fit, ready for next week. Thanks for watching. Really, really appreciate the support. Really appreciate all the comments, all the likes, all the subscribes, whatever, all the views throughout the week. If you want to check back on what I've been feeling and what I've been thinking, do check back on the latest episodes. Until Wake Up to Walk, just doing it.